In my hand, I hold a screw, conventionally referred to as a clockwise or right-hand screw. Most anyone knows that in order to screw this into a surface, you get behind the screw. You use a tool known as a screwdriver and you turn clockwise in order to drive it into a surface. This convention has been around for hundreds of years, ever since screws and bolts became used as common fasteners. The concept of a screw originated about 400 BC, before the Common Era, and it likely inspired Archimedes to invent what we today refer to as an Archimedes screw, which has been used for thousands of years for agricultural irrigation. And it likely also inspired drawings by Da Vinci of what he called his aerial screw. But the Archimedes screw definitely inspired the use of marine propellers, which are even today referred to in nautical terms as screws. In this picture we see a marine propeller turning in a clockwise direction or right-hand direction as seen from aft of the propeller, which is the standard convention. Airplane propellers are likely to have an airfoil cross-section, but conceptually they're very similar to marine propellers. Let's look at how to label these props as clockwise or counterclockwise. So let's do that in the context of the standard. Here is a clockwise right-hand threaded screw. So here we have the front of the screw, here we have the back of the screw. Let's look at the props in the same way. So we'll have the front of the prop facing the same direction as the screw. And if we do that and we look at the twist of the blades, we see that that angle is very similar to that of the screw. So this is a clockwise right-hand propeller. Now let's look at the green propeller. We put the front of the propeller facing the same direction as the front of the screw, and we see that the twist on this propeller is the reverse of the screw. So it is a reverse propeller. It's also a counterclockwise left-hand propeller, according to the standard convention that has been used for hundreds of years. Here I have two propellers, both purchased from Hobby King. One on the top is a standard propeller, one on the bottom is a reverse propeller, and that's the way they're marked and labeled on Hobby King's website. So I put together this little matrix in order to help me decide what kind of prop I need for what kind of situation. So along the top axis here I have the motor direction of rotation, being clockwise or counterclockwise, and then the mounting configuration being either a tractor or a pusher prop. So for instance, if I have a tractor prop and I have a clockwise rotating motor, then I need a standard prop. If I have a pusher prop and a counterclockwise rotating. This is an example of an RC plane with a tractor configuration and a clockwise rotating motor, which means that the prop has to be a standard or clockwise prop. So as you can see, this prop rotates clockwise to push the air toward the back of the airplane to develop thrust. That means that in this prop matrix, our configuration is a tractor and our motor rotates in a clockwise direction, so we need a standard clockwise prop. This is an example of an RC plane in a pusher configuration where the brushless motor has been set up to rotate in a counterclockwise direction. So the brushless motor's in here and it rotates counterclockwise. From behind the propeller, that looks like a clockwise rotation direction, which means that we can use a standard propeller. And as you can see, when the propeller rotates clockwise, it pushes the air toward the back of the plane, thus developing thrust. So we're using a clockwise right-hand standard propeller on this pusher configuration because our brushless motor was set up to rotate counterclockwise. That puts us in our prop matrix in the category where we have a pusher configuration. Our motor is rotating counterclockwise, so we have a standard prop. In the days before electric RC airplanes, when glow engines were the only game in town, you were stuck pretty much with a glow engine that was going to rotate clockwise. From the rear, that meant that the prop was going to be rotating counterclockwise. So in that case, you were not able to get away with a standard prop, and you needed what's called a reverse prop. This is a reverse prop called a reverse or counterclockwise or left-hand prop. So what that meant was configuration as a pusher, you have a clockwise rotating motor, so you need a reverse prop.